Hey everyone, welcome to The Win with Heather Havenwood. And I am very excited to be on Facebook Live again today. This is going to be a lot of fun. Stacey, go ahead and open your browser and do your thing. I'm going to go ahead and start talking a little bit. So guys, what we're doing here, we're doing multi-purpose, okay? I'm going to be doing Facebook Live and then repurposing it later to YouTube, repurposing it later to iTunes, iHeart, Google Play, Stitcher. If I forget one, I'm sorry. And part of this is learning for yourself and your business to market yourself on multiple channels in multiple ways. So I just want to you understand that you can see it's multiple times too, which is kind of cool. So, all right, I'm introducing someone today that I have adored and followed along for for a while, and just kind of following her and what she's doing. And my job to you as a podcast is to bring on people that are, I've said it before, badasses, and that's my job. And I'm doing my job again today. So I'm very excited to have Stacy here today. Hi, Stacy. Are you there?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for getting up and getting your hair done. And I
I'm
love
so excited.
when I've done these with guys, and I love you guys, but you guys don't care. You're like, what? Why did you need some time? They can literally roll out of bed, not brush their teeth, and get on a video and be completely confident about that.
Not fair. Not fair at all. We have to do way too much stuff.
Right. I have to do what exactly. So I completely concur. So I'm going to explain to you who Stacy is, so who you're looking at. Her name is Stacy Tuschl. Started her first business in her parents' backyard at the age of 18 and turned that company into a seven-figure business. She's a #1 international best-selling author of Is Your Business Worth Saving? In her book, Stacy reveals proven strategies for pulling entrepreneurs out of a rut and launching them toward total business success. Stacy is also the host of the top-rated business podcast, Business Rescue Roadmap, with listeners in over 69 countries, which I've been on. Yay. Which is a lot of fun. Okay, Stacy, just thank you so much for being here. First of all, thank you for your time today. And you're in Wisconsin. For some reason, I just love the fact that you're from the Midwest. I don't know why.
Well, at least one of us. I mean, this weather is not great. You can see my view behind. I've got no leaves on trees. It is pretty cold here. So we have some seasons that I love.
That's awesome. And there's snow. Is that snow? Really? Is that snow behind
No,
you?
it's not snow. It does look really white. We did have like frost in the morning. It snowed one time so far, but that's it. But yeah, it will be snowing very soon. Any day it really could snow.
Here in Texas, we're like, what's snow? What's that? We don't see it very often. Well, I just want to say thank you so much. Well, I have a ton of questions. Okay, I just have a ton of questions because first I want to start off with your story. I'm really curious what the business was when you started when you were 18. So let's start there. Like, tell me about you being 18 and in the backyard, and why not in the garage? So tell us about that.
Yeah, so definitely an interesting story, a little bit different than most, I would say. Yeah, I was a dancer in high school. So I started all of a sudden at 18 going, I don't want to stop dancing, right? I loved it too much. So I wanted to continue that passion. This was not something that I thought I was going to do a business with. This was just me selfishly going, okay, I can continue if I do this. So I started teaching 17 middle schoolers in my parents' backyard for free, for fun. And within 3 years, it started to snowball. All of a sudden, I was at 100 dancers still in the backyard for free, for fun. And I was going to school. I was getting my degree in business and marketing because I really did have plans to go get a real 9-to-5 job. And all of a sudden, I thought, okay, maybe I could do this. Maybe this could be something. I had a dance mom actually say, you should be charging us something, even if it's just like minimal. You're spending so much time with these kids. We love what you're doing. And that's kind of when it happened. So at age 21, I decided, okay, I'm doing this. And I incorporated, started charging. And now, I mean, yeah, that's since 18, it's 14 years later of doing this. So it's pretty incredible. I still have it today. It's such a huge corporation, what we're doing now in a small business sense. I mean, we have now 900 plus students that come to us every single week, 40 employees, 2 commercial locations that we own, both of those. It's really incredible, grossing over $1 million a year. So lots of things going on.
I didn't even know you still had this business.
I still have it. Yeah. Because people assume, right, that I just got rid of it or I sold it. I love it too much. I mean, I really have such a special place in my heart for it and for what we're doing for the kids that I can't imagine selling it. I couldn't.
So what is it dance? Is it,
Yeah.
what's the name of it? Like, I'm really curious.
Yeah. Okay. So it's called the Academy of Performing Arts. We have 2 locations in the Milwaukee area. And yeah, we do children's dance classes. So ballet, tap, jazz, hip hop, poms, like dance team, a little bit of everything. We've even done, we do music lessons. So private guitar, voice, violin, all of that stuff. So it's really kind of cool.
Well, first of
Yeah.
all, I was a dancer too. I don't know if
Oh,
you
I
remember
didn't know that.
that. I was a drill team.
Okay. So you get it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I totally get it. I did the, I'm in Texas, so it was all about the
Oh,
high
yeah.
kick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For
All right.
sure. Yes.
All right. Sorry to go like you guys were like, well, you gotta be such a girls. No, I was like Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. I so get the Cowgirls. I
Yeah.
guess I get, and we were, we had like 200 girls all doing like the high kicks, and I just absolutely love drill team. I really wish I could do that in the adult world, but you just really can't. So, and I actually, believe it or not, I actually did try out for the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
You did.
I
How
did.
cool.
I did. And I walked out the first round. Because I learned that you had to have the exact same schedule as the NFL, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And it's intense, right? It's like nonstop traveling and you get paid $12,000. I'm like, what?
It's crazy. It is. It really is. And I
Right?
think that was one of the things I had to
Like
realize.
mil and I get 12 grand. What? So that's when I walked out. So.
Yeah. You have to love it. You definitely have to love it. This is not an industry where you're typically making a ton of money.
No, but you do love it. I love the art of dance. I mean, it definitely for me created, like guys have sports, right? It created for me discipline
Yeah.
and understanding and learning, and I did the whole tap and ballet thing, and
Yeah.
all that. So anyway, so I just love that. I just
Yeah.
had no
Thanks.
idea that you and I
Yeah.
were dancers together.
I know. Crazy. We have more in common than we think.
I had no idea. That's really cool. And there's definitely a difference between like a southern drill team, and
Yeah.
if you go, I guess East Coast or West Coast. I don't even know if they have them, but I remember we went to nationals and saw an East Coast team. We're like, psh, you guys are nothing. You guys are like cheerleaders. We're the drill team. This is the whole other world, So, and it was competitive, and we had, I mean, it was competitive. It was cutthroat. So anyway, I just love that about you. I had no idea. Congratulations. That's
Thank
really
you.
cool. So tell us then how all of a sudden you're starting this. Like what?
Yeah,
Tell us
so
about the
it's
journey.
so funny because it kind of is the same story. So
Okay.
I'm in this dance studio. People are seeing it. They're going, how are you doing all of this? This is crazy. Your parking lot is always full. You've got so many customers. And then how are you managing it? Because I do have 2 little ones. I've got a 15-month-old baby and a 3.5-year-old. So people would say, could I pick your brain? Can I take you to lunch? I was going to, meeting them for free, just sharing my knowledge because I loved it so much. Like I love talking business and just entrepreneurship in general. So I was basically starting this free business, not realizing maybe I could do this for a living. And then I had one person actually say, could I pay you for like a Skype call? Or, I would love to, do some kind of consult with you. And they weren't from this area. And that was me going like, maybe I could be doing this. Like this might be really, really fun. And I needed it. I needed a challenge because with my studio being 14 years old now, there's just so many systems in place and it's such a rhythm and a routine. And I always say we're a very well-oiled machine. And what I'm missing from it is the challenge. There's not that much challenge involved because we have all of these people in place doing their job. I have such an amazing team and I still needed something to challenge me, to excite me. And that's how this started. So I've been doing this the last couple of years, but really officially launching online last Black Friday. So just a year ago, with an online course.
Wow, congratulations. That's awesome. So what's your day look like then? What does your life and day look like at this point?
So I work exclusively from home. I mean, I'm 100% in my home office. And really I say home office, but I'm in my kitchen right now. Sometimes I'm on my front porch, right? I just need my laptop and I can pretty much go anywhere. But yeah, so I really am focused on really a mix of things because even though I don't want to say, oh, I'm not focused on my studio, I have people doing what they need to be doing, and I'm focused on the people that I delegate to, right? So even though I have a team of 40, I'm not talking with 40 employees daily. I'm talking with the general manager that's underneath me, right?
Right.
So we have this structure and this organizational chart that really has it so self-run. I mean, there are some days where they don't need me. I'm not contacted, but I am working on like the two things I do is the business, like the business development. I am definitely the visionary of what's happening next. And then I'm also the marketing because that is my strong suit. It's what I love to do. So those are the two things that I focus on in that business specifically. And then in the online space, I mean, I am working on this business because this is kind of still the baby, right? I'm still growing this business. And there's a lot more to do over here. So I am definitely fully invested in this.
And what's your vision for this new online business? Where do you want to take this?
Yeah. So with that said, I feel like if I can do what I've done in the brick and mortar space with a local audience within, 5 to 10 mile radius and grown it the way that I've grown it, online just seems like I could go so much bigger. And that really is my vision, is just taking this. And I love that I can impact people who are impacting others. So I always tell people I can really impact millions because of how that's just replicating when you're reaching somebody who's also impacting so many amazing people.
Yeah, that's really true. So are you looking to do events and seminars? Like where do we see Stacy in 5 years?
Yeah. So I've done a lot in this last year. So this past year, I launched my book, I launched my podcast, and I did a live event. So I did I came out and I'm like, I'm doing it. So I did everything this year. I mean, my podcast is 3 days a week. My book, I poured everything into that book. We hit #1 international bestselling. Day one, I was so excited. The podcast, everything. It's just going so well. And then the live event I'll do every April. Ideally, I see myself doing 2 live events a year. So I will kind of tackle one more at some point. But my big thing too is I want to speak. I want to be out there on stages and building connections and relationships with people. I'm a really big into collaborating. So I love finding people like you who are doing the same thing. We get each other and just do some amazing things together too. So that's my big thing this year is I am having a growth year in 2017. Lots of exciting things coming up.
Hey, oh my God, that's awesome. So tell us about your event. What do you do in April? And then I'm curious why you went to a live event so fast. I mean, that's pretty fast, you know, so that's just, so how did it go? And what was your experience like?
Yeah, so that's a great point. So with that said, I did my online course and I launched it with a live event. So that was why I did it so quickly. Okay. I like really getting to meet people and dive deep. Like for me, it's really about sitting down, getting together, doing the work, right? Yes, we can do this right here, but it's also really fun to meet people in person in real life and get to know them a little bit deeper. So the live event was great. It was really my knowing that it wasn't going to be this huge event, but it was going to be the marketing for next year. So now this year going into it, when I'm really ready to have a live event, because now I've grown my following, I have a community, a really growing community too. Now I'm able to already show what the event looks like, what they can expect. Because sometimes you don't know what people are going to put out there. And I wanted them to see, this was the level we did last year, we're going to one up it this year, right? So I'm excited to be able to show that and to have testimonials of people that were there at that event.
That's awesome. Cool. So what's the name of the event?
So the event, last year we called it Get Focused Academy. It was with the online course. I just lost my microphone. This year, I'm not sure yet. I'm actually launching it really, really soon. And I've kind of been going back and forth about actually rebranding the name. It definitely is productivity, goal setting. It's for the entrepreneur, right? I mean, we talked about so many different things, hiring virtual assistants, delegating to them, then keeping them accountable, anything that has to do with that stuff. Yeah. Because that's what I do every single day is I delegate and I have my team helping me.
Delegate. You know what I find interesting is I think women are getting better at that, but I find that sometimes with women, we will take it. I'll do it. You know, like that's for me. I have to there's like some kind of, I don't know, like an AA to that, Alcohol Anonymous, the non-delegation of me. I'm like, delegate. So I'm starting to learn to get rid of stuff more and more and more, and trust and just let it go. You know, so I think there's a lot of that with entrepreneurship. We're constantly having to go to another level. And so I love that what you're doing. Are you doing it in Wisconsin or are you going to go somewhere else?
So I did it in Milwaukee last year because I thought my first one, there's going to be a million things I'm going to need to run home for, or I forgot, or I need to do this. Yeah. And you know what? It was actually it worked out really well. So we're doing it again this year in Milwaukee. And I don't know, when I add on a second event, I probably will switch up the locations.
Yeah.
But ideally, you asked me where I want to be in 5 years. I would love to create this group of mastermind women that we go and we travel. We go to some really cool places and we learn while we're there and we still have an amazing time. So that is definitely something I want to incorporate. But it's a couple years down the road because I still have little ones at home and I don't want to be, traveling a ton right at the moment.
Right. Like, hi, bye, honey. Mommy's going to Cancun. Bye, Dad.
Yeah. Right.
Without Dad.
Yeah.
He's like, what? Like, yeah, bye.
Yes.
The girls and I are going to Cancun. We're going to go to London. I'm just kidding. That would be great, right?
Right.
You take care of everything. You all freak out. Oh my God, she's leaving, So I'm kidding.
Well, and that was something too, where I love that you can incorporate what you want to do in this business. So for me, traveling is one of those things. I want to be able to go and do amazing stuff and to be able to tie that in and get paid for it while I'm doing it. Why not?
Why not? Exactly. Yeah, I'm actually, the reason I'm asking about events is, I've been in the business for many years and I got out of it mainly just because of timing. And I'm looking at going back in and having an event here in Austin, right? So it's, of course, a great city.
Yeah.
And I'd have to probably do it in an area that's not so pretty. Of course, because people just want to leave, right?
Right. They always say that. Don't go to like this resort area or people don't want to come into the seminar.
They don't. Yeah, that was one of the things in my seminar business, just like, I mean, I'm just, this is a little tip of the trade, is that we never went to Vegas. And if we did go to Vegas, because it was a place that it's easy to get to, we would do a hotel like way off the strip because there's ones in West, in big time West, in Vegas. So they're like 20 minutes away. All right. Because they're casinos, so they're cheap, but they're like, there's nothing around, right? They got to get a cab. It's a pain in the butt. So that's what we would do it. In the middle of the desert. No kidding. And so, one time I did an event in 2013 and I did it at the Palms. Now that wasn't on the strip. It was like a little way, but I mean, it's the Palms. So you walk down, it's like, everyone's like noon and we're like, okay, be back for lunch, be back in an hour. And they go down to the casino. I'm like, hello, so that was a problem.
Yeah. And I have experienced that, not at my event, but I've gone to an event in New York City and people, they would sneak off, they'd come back and you're like, where is everybody? All of a sudden the conference is just empty.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah. I went to one in New York. I'll never do that again. That was really, I mean, I think I paid $150 for a breakfast and I was like, yeah, I can't like do that.
Right. I know.
I can't do that. Texas, like, what? These eggs are not worth $25. I'm just saying. So back in Big U, tell me about, what does your life look like? How all day? You got two little ones that are obviously not in school yet, right?
Yeah, correct.
So you're technically people see you as a stay-at-home mom, but you work? I mean,
no, that doesn't mix. People think that, but you can't do that. So right now, both of my kids are at daycare, which might sound crazy to some people, but you have to realize I am running several businesses here, right? I've got a lot of things going on. If my kids were running around right now, I could not focus on what I was doing. So they go to daycare right now 3 days a week. And the other two, my husband will watch them a couple hours for me on Tuesdays and Thursdays to make sure I can kind of get in my office, do some productive days. But I still also need time to do personal errands and run around and stuff like that. So that'll be a day that I'll take them with me and just do fun stuff like that together.
Oh, cool. That you have a nice balanced life. I just love that. And I had no idea you're over there like this bad A running this big company. Oh, so I just have to ask because it's like in my head. So you've been married, you're married, kids, obviously. I'm curious how that went down when you meet this guy in Wisconsin. You're like, yeah, like I already have $1 million business and what you got? Like, I'm just curious.
Yeah. Okay. So what's funny or what's good, I think, is I met my husband I met him at 20. So I did not even incorporate yet. So he has been around for everything. And I think that was cool because we really built it together. Not that he is in this business, but he is so supportive. And without him, there's just no way this would work. Right. I mean, I need that support system at home. So so he's been around this entire time, which has been amazing.
Nice. Okay, great. So you weren't like on a Match.com no, I own $1 million business.
I mean, there's been times where I first of all, I bartended while I was running my studio in the
Nice.
beginning because I wasn't making money. I was
Right.
growing it. I was trying to make money. And then we got married and he said, okay, you need to stop bartending. He was a bartender too. We actually both quit around the same time. And then he supported me while my business it was making money, but I kept sticking it back in there going, I see a bigger picture here. I see a bigger vision. Like, I promise you this is going to work out. So yeah, so there was a time our first year we got married that I made $0. I worked in my business while he supported us. So that's kind of cool now to be able to, just to have that support.
That's a huge deal when you have when you have a big support team like that,
Mm-hmm.
just in personal. That's a huge deal, and I just really commend your hubby for
Thank
doing
you.
that.
Yeah,
And
he's a great guy.
he believed in you. You believed in the system. He
Yeah.
believed in what's going on. So I just love that. So okay. So you got an event going on. You got an amazing book, but the book is about, is your business worth saving? Tell us about what you mean by that.
Yeah. So the reason that book even came about was I was going to all of these conferences and I was starting to make really great friends, right? We were going to the same conferences over and over. And all of a sudden I'm realizing that some people in that room, after we're learning the same thing from the same mentors, right? We have the same type of business. Why were some so profitable and productive and why were some falling apart, right? People were selling, people were getting rid of them. So that's kind of where that question came about. Is this worth it? And if you're questioning it, let me dive in deep with some of these areas, right? I really want you to be thinking about this before you all of a sudden just give up on it, because I truly believe that like when I ask that question, I'm hoping 99.9% of people are going, yes, my business is worth it. Just tell me what to do, right? I just need some guidance here.
That's interesting. Did you find people, first off, let's just put this straight, right?
Yeah.
In the seminar industry, and I mean that it's a broad, so let me explain something and then I want to circle back. So
Okay.
when I'm in the industry, people always go, well, no, you were in the real estate industry. I'm like, no, there's two industries. Okay. There's the information that they teach to go do,
Mm-hmm.
right? It could be real estate investing. It could be social media. There's that. And then there's the business of seminars. Like, it's literally a different business,
Yeah.
right? So, and people will be really good at seminars or going to seminars, and they wouldn't be good at the thing, right? So, and I realized in the business where I was in, I was told this early on because it really, I had a hard time. I would sell people $10,000 products,
Yeah.
3,000, 4,000. I mean, big numbers. And then I would see them months later and nothing would happen, and I'm like, oh my, I feel guilty,
Right. Right. You do.
I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. Now, with that said, if you go to a university today, SMU, whatever, and you spend $60,000, $70,000, sometimes a year, which is crazy. Anyway, you don't see SMU or Harvard going, oh, we are so sorry that you didn't get a job, or whatever. They don't care. They're like, can you pay us our money? And then we have somebody else. And so
Right.
that's what someone had to explain to me, is that
Mm-hmm.
people will take on the education and they may or may not use it. And it's not your job to get them to, but you can help them through the process, right?
Yes.
And I remember someone telling me this: the average real estate investor, getting this, I was in really real estate, spends between $40,000 to $60,000 in education before they make their first deal. Whoa, right?
Yeah.
And that's when I realized it's my job as the communicator, the educator, the teacher. Always, if I'm giving, I give and I share from full experience and full integrity, and it's up to them to choose, right? It's
Right.
up to them. So did you have to have any, like, what I call hard conversations with someone like this business? It's not worth saving.
So for me, the reason I'm going to tell you that, first of all, my question is, are you passionate? Do you love it? Was there ever a time you loved it? Sometimes we get into business and we're thinking this is going to be a great moneymaker, right? Those are the businesses that usually aren't worth saving, because if you're just in it for the money, you've got a lot of other things that you need to be focusing on. You're just not going to love it, right? Because business is hard. And when those hard times come, if the money is the only thing keeping you there, you're going to be struggling. So I really want to know, is that passion there? That's a big one.
Okay.
Then
so the passion's there, and then what do you do from there?
Okay, so if the passion's there, now we have to figure out, do people actually need this, right? Because you might have come up with something, but there's just not a need for it in the market. Or maybe there's a need for it, but you're just not, communicating it the way that you should. Maybe you're not getting the visibility you need, right? You can be a best kept secret. That happens. So we've got to figure out where are the problems. So there's a lot of evaluation in that beginning part, just really kind of taking a step back. And that's what I'm good at, is being that outside view to kind of say, okay, here's what I see, because you as the person in it see something completely different because you have so much invested in it. And sometimes I have to go, okay, well, this free, whatever you're offering, it's not that good. Nobody really wants that. I can get that anywhere. I can Google that. Why would I give you my email? Right. So I do have to give some tough love to say, here's what we're going to do. But if you're ready to dive in deep and to figure this out, the sky is the limit.
Yeah, that's true. That's some tough love. Like, nobody wants your baby kind of thing. And I've had to have those conversations. Like, I don't think anyone wants your baby. It's not personal, because I get that it's your baby. And are people looking for that? Are people wanting that? I just came across that recently. It was a situation where we didn't work together, but I'm listening to him and I know he was so passionate about it, but I'm like, I don't see what people are buying. You know what I mean? I don't see why would I buy that? Thinking about, I'm the consumer. What would I be buying? What's the take? And he was explaining, I'm like, well, you kind of get that already with this app that's like free, right?
Right.
So, you have to really think it through, and competitive analysis is a big one right now. I think it's bigger than it ever has been. It used to be when I got started, it's like you put something out there and people just kind of flood to it. And now you have to really look at who's your competition, because it's constant, So awesome. So you do podcast 3 days a week. That's congratulations. I'm only at 2.
Hey, I think once you're past 1, it feels like the same amount of work. It really does.
I think so. I think my team would be like, what? 3? What? Chill out. I'm at 2 and it's already like, whoa, so it does take another level. I love podcasting. I absolutely love guesting. I love interviewing amazing people. So where can people find you? 1, if they want to go to your event in April, 1, 2, if they want to buy your book, 3, if they're like, she's just a really cool chick, I want to hang out with her, go to Wisconsin. Where can they find you?
Yeah, if you're dying to come into Wisconsin, absolutely. I'm your girl. So you're going to go to my website, stacytuschl.com. And if you're watching on Facebook Live, just look at the spelling, because you'll never know how to actually spell this. Stacy with just a Y, and then Tuschl is Tuschl. So that's going to have everything there, all of my details and events. One thing that the best place that you can hang out with me is going to be in my Facebook group. And that's a really easy domain name. It's leveluptribe.com. There's over 750 entrepreneurs in there that are really looking to take their business to that next level. So that's what that whole phrase means, leveluptribe.com, and that'll get you right inside of there.
Awesome. Oh, I love that. I'll have to be up to level up. I'll meet you in. So thank you so much, Stacy, for being here. And everyone, this is The Win with Heather Havenwood. You can find us on heatherhavenwood.com, of course, but also iTunes, iHeart, Google Play, and now Facebook Live. Ta-da! I just really want to say thank you for being here. And I'm pretty impressed with who you are and what you're doing, what you're creating. And thank you for putting yourself out there. There needs to be more people like you globally. I think really globally. I think now is a time to really tap into that globalization. So I'm very impressed with you, my friend, and have an awesome day. And all right, guys, it's Heather Havenwood with The Win.